Commanders have hired Daronte Jones to be their defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Probably not a name that was on a lot of people's radar prior to this.
You know, I asked this question, though. I looked at a lot of comments after that last night, and all these people he wasn't on my radar. I want to ask most fans, how the heck, you don't know the damn people out there anyway? How many? I asked one guy because he was acting like he knew everything. I told him, name me 5 defensive coordinators in the NFL.
Or 5 assistant defensive coordinators.
And I'm still waiting for him, and you know what? Guess what? He has the opportunity to go Google it, but he couldn't send it right back.
Right.
It amazes me how people immediately dismiss somebody because they don't know. The whole thing about it is, we're in this profession, and I don't know if we could just go run down the list of all the damn people out there.
I think, I agree. There's a lot to it, right? I think there was, I don't want to tear it up, right? But they interviewed Brian Flores. They interviewed Jonathan Gannon.
And he went back where he was going.
Right, like Flores I never think was going to happen.
Okay.
Gannon took the Packers job. You want to know why you take the Packers job?
Micah Parsons is going to be coming back. Yeah.
And they have more talent on that roster. So I understand why you take that. Then they interview a bunch of assistants, right?
Mm-hmm.
I keep circling back to, they talked to Brian Flores for a while.
Yeah.
You don't think in that interview he said, listen, fellas, the odds of me coming here are pretty slim, but you should think about my boy Daronte.
Yeah, and that's
like, coaches, you don't think that happened?
Coaches do that on a regular basis.
Totally.
But I was trying to remember this guy's name, but I totally forgot it. He responded on when I posted this on Facebook. He said, they thought Joe Gibbs wasn't ready back in the day either. What do we think about Joe Gibbs today? People have to start from somewhere. You're not going to get ready-made people every time you go out there and get a coach. And if nobody ever gives anybody a damn chance, you know what? We will never know the stories of a Joe Gibbs. We'll never know the stories of a Bill Belichick or Bill Parcells. You know, all those people were given an opportunity at one point. They didn't walk in this thing just ready. So we got to get off of that. Like, this is what I've noticed in D.C. You got to have a top-notch coach every time, number one of everything, and you got to always get first-round draft picks or you think you can't play football. But it has been proven in this city you can win without all of that.
Agreed. I got some information on Jones last night. Apparently knocked the interview out of the park, which matters. And I think, I've said this. I have grown tired of Dan Quinn talking about arriving violently and ball is life because you weren't doing it on the field.
Mm-hmm.
You watch Minnesota, you watch how that defense plays and how they're coached. They're doing that. And I love that they got someone from a system that is going to generate pressure.
Yeah.
You know what they're going to do? Come get you.
Yeah.
Like, and that is a mentality that has not existed in the 2 years here defensively. And maybe now it will, right? Like, the way the Vikings play defense, you can look at the numbers or you can just use the damn eye test. Mm-hmm. The way they play defense is the way Dan Quinn has talked, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just hasn't occurred.
But the thing of it, Jay, and I kept seeing other comments about this, and this is a fact. Personnel.
Totally.
Does the complete personnel fit that? I could tell you one person in the secondary that arrived violently all the time, and that's 3-9.
Sure.
If everybody arrived like that, I guarantee you the tackles will jump way up. People arrive softly and try to grab a football.
That's where I started to really question the ball is life.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to get guys on the ground.
And that's the thing about it. Football is about tackling and breaking tackles. You know what? And the ball comes along, but first person to arrive got to put that tie-out on the person. And then the other people, if he's still standing up fighting, you make him regret that. You come in, you put helmet on the ball, helmet on the ball, helmet on the elbow, helmet in some damn ribs. You make him let the ball go. But the ultimate thing is, it's a combination of things. You don't just hire a coach and get better. And you don't just have better talent and get better. You have a coach and talent to make that thing go together. And it's a job for AP as well to get this thing get a little bit better talent out there, and let's see what happens.
So we're going to talk to Kevin Seifert at 11. Kevin covers the Vikings, has a long time, knows Daronte, should be a good conversation. Mike Jones is going to join us at noon. We'll talk about the entire NFL landscape. A lot of coaches Nobody wants to go to Cleveland, even though my man Shador is a Pro Bowler. We're going to give away some Kid Cudi ticks at 11:45. 1 o'clock Barstool Nate, 1:30 John Arand. There is something, I don't know exactly what it is, and I don't want to speculate too much because we know these people and are friends with these people. Something seems like it's not going right at the Washington Post, specifically with their sports section. John Arand will give us whatever information we could gather on that. That just makes me sad, dog. I mean, the Post Sports is an institution.
It's like, I think sports per se is in a sense being like not giving it the credit that it deserves. I mean, people use sports really as that I guess to get away from all the other seriousness of life. But some of the people that own those things don't like that because they rather you just go order stuff from them. And make you happy by just getting Amazon stuff all the damn time.
It's crazy to think when Bezos bought the Post, it was celebrated as like, yo, he's saving this incredible American institution. And now, I don't know. We don't know exactly what's happening. Specific to Daronte Jones. Like, when we talk about that, like all the coaches that were here under Shanahan, right?
Yeah.
The offensive firepower, the offensive mental capacity that was part of that room is pretty incredible. And you think to like how far down that's reached. And Gruden, too, to his credit, hired really good assistants, and they're all over the league, right? Mm-hmm. Like people put O'Connell on the Shanahan tree. Meanwhile, he only coached under Gruden. You know what I mean? Like there has been significant offensive brain power in Washington that has now matriculated all over the NFL. If you want to talk about defensive brain power, and I tell you that Daronte Jones has been in Minnesota with Brian Flores for the last couple seasons. Coached under Mike Zimmer. Coached under Vance Joseph.
Both of those guys attack the hell out of you.
Yeah, man. And
but you know one thing, Jay, you mentioned all that offensive brain power. You know what happened to all of those guys?
They got a chance.
Somebody gave them a damn chance.
Right.
And let's be real. When LaFleur got his, we didn't know how good he could be. We knew Sean was a great mind. We didn't know Sean could be as good as he is.
No.
Okay. O'Connell didn't know that as well.
Totally.
Mike was like a assistant guy around here running around. Mike McDaniel. Nobody knew what he could be, but they were given an opportunity. You know why they were given an opportunity? Because the person that started that damn tree was great and did a lot with it. So now you start looking at the people under those guys and you say, hell, let's give them a chance. And I think this is a damn good hire because, I am sick and tired. I said it last week when we were talking. I'm tired of the retreads that come in and do nothing. But everybody wants to name. That's a lot of names that keep getting jobs that are horrible in this league. Let's get some young, innovative people with some fresh stuff, and let's see what happens. But it works together, not by themselves.
Now, I don't think this should matter in the decision-making process, but I kind of love that he's from here. Played at Morgan State, coached at Bowie State. I think he grew up in Temple Hills. Like, this is a DMV dude.
Yeah, but I
think he went to McNamara.
That, to me, is a bonus.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like if somebody happens to be from the area, okay, cool. Just like I always say, when you go looking for a football player, the first thing you look for is a damn good football player. Right, totally. And if he happens to be a great guy, that's a bonus. Because I don't want to say, we brought him here because he's a great guy and he's a horrible ass football player. Wouldn't make no difference to me. Wouldn't make sense to me. But he is a damn good coach who happens to be from the area who may have a little bit more pride in bringing the thing back for this area.
I think they made a hire that they feel comfortable with and they understand the pressure involved.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're like, we're hiring this dude because he's went to McNamara, played in the WCAC.
No.
They hired the dude because they think he could win games.
Yeah.
And I think that is the paramount priority and objective here. Dan Quinn is going to go his way here. I don't know if you agree with me. The more and more I talk to people, some of the people have come on the show and said similar things. I think that job was Blau's maybe before the end of the season. I think internally they knew we're going to give David this shot, and they might have known that week 17.
I think they all felt like eventually Cliff is leaving out the building, whether it's because he gets a job or we're going to get him out the building. And we know who we have in place because they feel comfortable with that person. You watch work ethic. You watch how people do stuff. Like when I talked with Deuce talked about while Blau was playing, Blau was implementing and helping.
Right.
We've heard them, and listen, if Bobby wants to be a coach, Bobby can be a coach. You've heard these coaches talk about how Bobby comes in and let them know stuff. There are certain players who thinks beyond the actual play. They are beyond their actual play. They think about how it can help somebody else, what we could do to make this thing better. Blau was that guy. So you can see that happening. But the whole thing of it is, everybody have to understand, when you give a new guy a chance, he ain't by himself. You got other minds in the building that have been around and done some stuff. You lean on those people, and that can help bring you along a lot quick. When you were in school, well, I'm about to use something I don't know if you really did, Jay. So I know when I was majoring in chemical engineering, every time a professor said, talk to this guy, the professor was telling me because he knew that guy knew what the hell he was talking about. And I went and I talked to him, and I was a damn sponge. And I tried to do everything exactly how they told me. And I had a lot of success doing it. So when you go to do something new, you don't just walk in there and say hell with everybody. Some people got those egos, and that's why they fall flat on their face. But when you go in, you take hints from people. Punt returning in the NFL. You think I just did what I did? No, I took a lot from everybody. Mike Nelms, yep, Mike, thank you. Mel Gray, thank you. You know, I was pulling stuff from people because if they were having success with it, why wouldn't I do it? And I think the same thing goes into coaching, and we have to understand that. Give them give people a chance. Like I looked at social media, and my thought was, you know what? People don't give a damn about what's the good about you. They gonna make something bad about you.
It's going to be really interesting to see now how the rest of the coaching staff shakes out, right? Like, Ken Norton is the linebackers coach. Ken Norton's been a DC before. Will he want to go somewhere else? Will somebody that he's worked with forever get one of these head coaching jobs and want to bring him as a DC? Like, there are still moves to happen here. Mm-hmm. That's just the nature of the business.
Yeah.
I also think,
but if you look at the production on defense last year, are you worried about somebody leaving out?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like people, we sit here and we act as if it wasn't something that needed to be overhauled. If I keep getting in my car every morning and it's skipping a beat, and I decide, well, you know what, I got to keep my damn engine and transmission because they've been in my car all this time. No, get something new.
I don't know that this is a concern, and eventually we'll get to talk to Dan Quinn and ask him, right? But my biggest question, the way Minnesota played defense is very different than how Washington has played defense. Mm-hmm. Just like the structure and the aggressive nature.
Yeah.
Does Jones get to implement that? Yeah. Is that what he wants to implement? Like, does he get full run of this thing? Or is it going to be some mashup of what Washington has done and what Minnesota did? Because if you're going to hire this dude from that place, the way they play, and that's what he wants to do, you got to let him do it, in my opinion.
Yeah, you may have a little bit of both of them, though. Because let's be real, when that don't work, you can have a lot of big plays against it.
Sure.
So you got to be able to, and the whole thing.
But to your earlier point, they're already giving up a lot of big plays.
I think Dan also is a person who's in a situation to learn and try something different. You know, like people act as if when he was in Seattle at first, all they did was sit back. That's not what they did. They were pressuring people in Seattle.
Sure.
You know, they pressured, and then they had guys like Richard Sherman that could be in a zone, but he kind of played it like a zone man. You know, like some people in the zone, they play aggressive. Richard did that. You know, Cam Chancellor in the back did that. What's the little short safety they had that was Earl Thomas. He was a nut. Like those guys had special people that did things, so you could try some different things. You really wanted them to go man-to-man last year?
No.
I mean, look, that's the thing of it. Like, I'll keep going back to, we can say what we want about the coaches. The personnel didn't play up to par either.
Last year, the personnel either wasn't good enough or didn't play to their full capability, weren't getting pushed to their full capability. Mm-hmm. It's crazy to me to be overly reliant on turnovers when that is an extremely volatile statistic.
It's a volatile thing, but
year to year, there's no continuity unless you have elite pass rushers.
But year to year, they're going to preach the same thing because every coach in this league knows turning the ball over and keeping the ball in your hands as an offensive coach will win you some football games. So they're going to stress that. Now, it may not be happening, but you don't ever stop stressing it. You got to always stress it. But like you said, it's volatile. It goes up and down. But if you look at some of these teams, they may have, let's say, 35 turnovers this year. Next year, it may be 25, 30. But it's not 8. It's not 6. They still are in an area where it makes a difference throughout the year. And you got to keep pushing for that.
Sure. But
either you got a Sean Taylor or you got a Deion or Darryl Green. You got a dude that's going to knock the damn ball out your hands or somebody's going to take it before it gets to your hands.
So that is the big news in the sports world in the DMV from last night. Daronte Jones, new defensive coordinator of the Washington Commanders. At some point, there's going to be a press conference, whether that's going to be on Zoom or in person. There's a lot of TBDs out of Ashburn right now as far as when we get to talk to the new D coordinator. I will say this, though, about Quinn. He talks about liking guys with a journey and calluses and scars. I think it's very cool Daronte Jones is getting this opportunity. He's 47. All these young offensive guys, you can be 26 to get an offensive job.
Yeah.
Like these defensive dudes, it's hard to climb that.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there are real elements of it's harder for black dudes to climb. Like the numbers support it. Just look around the league. These opportunities don't come that often. And I think it's cool, the opportunity that's going to be here. And now it's up to him, right? You need better players, maybe. I've said it repeatedly. Adam Peters needs to be more aggressive in free agency for young players coming off rookie contracts. You tell me you want to get younger, faster, stronger, time to show us. About a month from now, it's really time to show us. A month from now, I'll be in Indy at the Combine. That's when the deals are getting made. You want to be younger, faster, stronger? It's up to you now, man. You've overhauled the coaching staff. Personnel.